Well, I'm now being joined on the program by the singer from Ontario, Canada. Many thanks for joining us on the program today, Kelly. It's been a minute since we last had you on entertainment news on Channels Television.
That's right. It's been a while. Thank you for having me, Peter. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and even if it's been a minute, we still follow up on your activities, including your new singles. But before we get into all of that, what has been on the front burner is conversation around your philanthropic endeavors. Tell us about that.
Yes, I mean the philanthropy work is something I've always been interested in. It's always been a part of me. Of course, being a Nigerian, and being somebody who was born, raised in Benin City, at those states, and I feel like this new venture I'm doing right now is to help the youth and to kind of remind them of the importance and the key to education. And so I decided to sponsor a few students, in our University of Benin, which is UNIBEN, to help them further their education and to help them with their hosting of their fees and just things that they need in school that can just help them push further in life. And that's something that I decided to do to help the youth of the Benin City where I'm from to just enhance their education in every way possible.
Impressive. I mean, quite impressive. I must commend your action because naturally when you see entertainers try to give back, they still try to do it within the creative circle. But you're going full throttle into the academic space. Why is education so important to you?
Absolutely. I mean, I am a singer songwriter, and I'm a entertainer, and I'm definitely also in a philanthropy pist. And the way I see it, I want to remind the youth that education is still a big part of life, and you know being where I'm from Benin City. I was born in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, and I'm 35 years old, and I look at the youth, and the ones who are coming up, in my community where I grew up, and when I see the youth these days, I feel like a lot of people are, shunning away from education. I feel like they are, more focused on, social media, TikToking and social. There's just more to life. I just want to remind the youth that they are the future, and that is important. And we are the future. They are the future. And if everybody is focused on trying to, be an entertainer, I mean, we still need doctors, we still need lawyers, we still need, surgeons, we still need people that, that will be giving back to the community. And being from Benin City and being from Nigeria, I know we're gifted with so many talents, and I respect everybody as an entertainer, but there's more to life than entertainment. Education is still the number one and will always be the number one priority, in life. Absolutely.
Well, I'm happy you're tilting the conversation in this direction because in recent times, if you look at the derivatives of today's pop culture, which is to a large extent being fueled by music, you feel worried, extremely worried about the state of mind of a huge chunk of young people. Would you say entertainers should take more responsibilities for the state of mind of these impressionable young people? Because what is dominating our music these days and the airwaves is alcohol, drugs, sex, and other immoralities.
Right. I definitely, do think that, at the end of the day, people are going to make their own decisions in life. And I don't want to say that the artists are not shining enough. It's a bit strange, right? I mean, when an artist is on stage, performing every day. People admire that. They see that, and a lot of people want that. And they see the wealth, they see the success that comes from it. But there's also an education part behind, being an artist. You also have to be smart. You still have to be educated in a way to be able to, deal with contracts and deal with lawyers and deal with, the educational part and deal with the business side of the entertainment world. But however, I do think that major artists could shine more opportunities on educations to educate the youths because everybody growing up these days want to be like, they want to be, a successful musician. If you go into the streets of Benin City or you go into the streets of Lagos, I don't think it's hardly you're going to find a youth that would say that they want to be a lawyer or they want to be a doctor. Everyone is admiring what they see on social media, and I think that is a major issue, for the youth. And I I'm just here to remind the youth that that education is still important, and I'm here to support. I'm here to shine light on that. I want them to know that glorifying these things, like what you said, the alcoholism and the sex and the drugs that the artists are talking about. They need to remember that it's only entertainment. That is not the way to life, and it's not that's not the way that they should be living. And they definitely need to think about the future and think about what they want to accomplish for themselves and how they want to turn out now, what they want to do, because this is where education comes in. And I know that there's a lot more to talk about. Education is deep. I know a lot of people have graduated as well and also don't have jobs, but that is a subject for another day. We'll talk about that another time.
True, true. That's an entire conversation on its own. But lastly, before I let you go, and there is not going to be this conversation without me asking you about your music. Tell us what's on the offing.
Will be there is some new music coming. We did take about a year and a half, sometimes, or recuperate and restructure some things. But there's some new music coming in a little bit. We'll be putting out some new music, and that will be also a conversation for another day as well. We definitely have some new songs coming on the way, and I look forward to sharing it with you all.
All right, then. Thank you very much for joining us. Well done again to you for taking the action in that philanthropic path. And we wish you all of the best and look forward to new music from you as well.